Hi there, everyone. Welcome to Rome Business Radio. This is the Rome Floyd Chamber Small Business Spotlight. We are broadcasting from the Hardy Realty Studios inside the Manus Business Center located at the corner of Broad Street and Turner McCall. And we work in cooperation with the Rome News Tribune. I'm Roger Manus with Rome Business Radio.
I'm Thomas Kisler with the Rome Floyd Chamber. Good morning, Roger.
What's going on, Thomas?
Chamber weather out there.
Yeah, it's a little drizzly, rainy today. I know you guys at the Chamber have been busy since, especially the recent membership drive. You're always busy. But so what's been going on? Lots of ribbon cuttings, things like that?
Yeah, lots of ribbon cuttings. We had one this week already. We had one end of last week. We had one a week before. And, they're just, piling up, which is a good thing. We signed up almost 200 new members. So it'll take us a while to do all these ribbon cuttings. And, we want to encourage all of our new members to take advantage, of a ribbon cutting. It's very important for your exposure and, just for your image in the community.
And of course, the membership drive put the Chamber over 1,000 members strong now is the new terminology, which is fantastic. And as part of what we're doing on the podcast these days, we're bringing in some of these new members to let them share their stories so we can create connectivity, share their business stories and how people can do business with them. So Thomas, if you don't mind, would you go around our studio here and introduce our guests?
Sure, absolutely. We have guests from 3 companies or organizations today. And I'm going to start with Christie and Mike Myers.
Good morning.
They are from Honeycream. Then we have Bryan Williams from Blastoff Rome. And then we have Braden Keith representing the Neely. And those are all new members who just signed up on our recent membership drive. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Let's start with you, with the Myers. First and foremost, the most important thing with a name like Mike Myers, I guess you've heard this before.
Once or twice.
Yeah. Do you get compared to the actor or the bad guy in the Halloween movies?
Both.
Yeah.
So I choose based on my mood, what I tell people.
Well, does your name have an S on the end? Or
no, it does not.
Oh, okay. So technically,
we are not the same name as either of those characters.
He comes from a long line of Michael Myers. Yeah. Meyer, apostrophe.
So tell us a little bit about, just give us a brief overview of Honeycream, what you guys do, where you're located, and it's gelato, correct? Did I say that correctly?
Yes, sir, you sure did.
And what is gelato exactly?
Well, it's a lot like ice cream, except it's not like ice cream. We churn milk and cream, but a lot less cream than ice cream. So it's a lower fat product, but we churn it with much less air in the mix, so it comes out much more dense. And that milk gives it more fluidity. So when we serve it at a warmer temperature, the mouthfeel is much creamier. And the fact that it's warmer and there's less fat, it brings out much more flavor in the products that we're making. And
you guys are located on Broad.
We are just off of Broad on East 3rd Avenue. So right at the intersection of 3rd Avenue and, past the 200 block of Broad. And so just right behind kind of Riverside Gourmet right now, and right across from the lofts, the new lofts that were built downtown a couple of years ago.
So this is basically just a sweet treat to serve the palate.
Absolutely. And importantly, it's made there fresh daily and it's all natural. And so we make it right there. Just Christie and I are the artisans that make the gelato.
Okay, and we will circle back around because I've got a lot more questions because I'm an ice cream guy, as you can tell by my physique. But this less fat thing is intriguing to me. So.
And your waffles, right? Your waffles.
Oh, yes. We also make a special sweet waffle called a Liège waffle.
Say, and again, those words.
Liège.
Yeah,
Liège.
Town in Brussels.
Yeah, I was going to say, it ain't from around here, right? Speaking of somebody born in Armurchie. Okay, Bryan with Blastoff Rome. Great name.
Thank you.
Tell us what you do.
We do pressure washing and soft washing and Christmas lights during November and December. We provide the Christmas lights. We come and hang them up. And then after the season, we come and take them down as part of the service that we offer.
Oh, that's interesting. Yes, just a little sidebar thing during that time of year?
Exactly. Something to keep us going through the colder months. But 8 months out of the year, 12 months out of the year, we're pressure washing or soft washing. But that just keeps us busy during the colder months. So,
and I'm curious about the name, Blastoff. So where did that come from?
It just came to me one day when I was doing it on the side, and I don't really know how I came up with it. It sounded like a good idea. Made sense.
And you mentioned soft washing. Is that a relatively new thing? Because I really haven't heard about it.
Yes, sir. I think it is, especially up here. A lot of people aren't familiar with it. So when you're washing a roof, you don't want to use pressure. You want to use a chemical application that's a low pressure to avoid causing damage. And that's where soft washing comes into play.
And how long have you been in business?
2 years.
Okay. And how long have you guys been in business at Honeycream?
A little over 2 months.
Okay. Yeah. The various entrepreneurs. Okay. Braden, most people in town probably know you from Romega Digital, but this new endeavor is the Neely, an event space here in downtown Rome. Yeah. You've been on the show before and we've talked about it a little bit, but how's it going? Tell folks more about it that might not be familiar with what the Neely is all about.
Yeah, so being a business owner already, I decided I wasn't getting enough sleep, so I decided to venture into a new space. Yeah, so last time we talked, the building was under construction, and that obviously always goes longer than you anticipate. So we opened our doors to our first event over the summer. It's been a slow roll, just getting people up to speed that we're here. And that we're in town, and thankfully I own a marketing business, so we're putting all the efforts to that now, and starting to get the website up, starting to get the marketing going, starting to get social media up to speed.
Appearing on podcasts, just making our rounds so that people know we're in the community. It's going great. We have an event in there today. There's an auction going on right now this afternoon. So that's really exciting to have our doors open. The chamber has held an event in there as well. And some other folks from the community has as well. And then there's just a lot of really exciting things in the pipeline for us. We've got some partnerships with some very well-known people in the community that are wanting to be part of this space, and we're hammering out all the details of that right now. But things to come, it's really exciting. Yeah, Thomas, you maybe can jump in here as well, and Braden. Rome kind of needed something like this, right? To host things. Are you finding that as you talk to people and you kind of get the word out that, oh, that's a great idea. I could have done this there, right, et cetera.
Yeah. I mean, I sure hope the community needs it. I felt like that was the case. And, I made several phone calls before I bought the building to confirm that. And, everyone that I talked to was like, yeah, we get calls all the time about where to hold a space, and the sweet spot between that, 50 and 125 people mark. There's just not a lot of options for that in town. The other thing that I bring to the table is the, technological offering. You come in there and you're not having to worry about a projector to set up or equipment to plug in or audio. Like, those are all afterthoughts at a lot of the event spaces in town. And mine, I want you to show up and just plug in, get going. Everything just works. It's modern. It looks great. It's designed well, and it's just laid out and open for your event. So that's been really exciting. And yeah, everyone that I've talked to in the community, like the chamber and the visitors bureau, they're like, we get phone calls all the time and we're sending them your way. They're starting to get up to speed on what we're doing.
Right. Correct. Rome is a meeting destination. So, Braden again was one step ahead, like with all of his other businesses. And, we have, the tennis, we have another hotel coming up, pretty soon. It's another, Marriott brand at the Rome Tennis Center. And, there are meeting and conventions coming in all the time. And right now, it's a little, sad, almost a dilemma. The Forum River Center is closed to the public. So they have court sessions in there, which is understandable with the pandemic catching up. But, they had several meeting spaces, and that's all missing. And throughout the years, Rome is on a schedule for many, many groups and organizations, associations, just as a meeting point for annual meetings. And, Braden can fill that gap with his event space. Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Honeycream. What prompted you guys to start a business during the pandemic? I say that bluntly, but congratulations.
Well, I'd say there are a lot of factors, but we had wanted to open a little cafe, and somewhere along our 20 years together in the military, Mike was in the military. And I was following him. So anyway, we just slowed down during the pandemic, and we thought, well, what are we doing? Why are we wasting time on this? It's always going to be easier when you have all the income in place, and we didn't at the time. But we saved up and started the process of let's really pursue this. Let's do this. No time like the present.
And why gelato? Did you have an interest in it? Did you have a background in it?
We love it.
So traveling around the world in the military, we had been exposed to different places that served good gelato, and it's something that we grew to miss. And so, having known that and, having tasted that before, and I introduced Christie to it after, having tasted it around the world, and actually in Washington, D.C., and we were stationed there. And so then she loved it, and we talked about the idea first then. Fast forward to a couple years ago, we had our last place we were stationed in Salt Lake City before we moved here, and I retired from the Air Force. We had a good friend who owned a successful gelateria out in Salt Lake City. And so through discussion with him and the timing of the pandemic, we decided it's time. And we decided that, let's do this, and something we really want to bring to Rome, something that's very special we think Rome would enjoy.
Well, thanks for your service. I was going to ask you what branch, but you just said the Air Force, and 20 years.
Yes, sir.
And so people forget about the families too. The whole family serves. So, thanks to both of you. I've got 2 brothers-in-law who served, and, anyway, thanks for your service.
Yes, thank you.
I digress. So tell me about some of the flavors, because as I mentioned, the lower fat content intrigues me.
I don't think you would notice. I really don't. It's such a dense and creamy mouthfeel. But it's the fact that it has less cream that it can do that. I don't know. We at first we thought, how on earth are we going to fill 18 flavors in our case? Because we were told go somewhere between 16 and 20 flavors, and purchasing these cases is expensive, and we had a small space, but we figured we can get 18 in there. And at first it was just, I don't even know how to begin. And we were trained by just a fantastic teacher. He's actually won some James Beard Awards for his gelato. Just got private lessons and training, and he gave us all the tools on how to make our own gelato or gelati. And so,
ooh, that's the plural.
Yes. So anyway, we got a couple of ideas for recipes, and I had this whole litany of flavors that I wanted to make. But then what you do is you come back and you say, well, okay, I've got a flavor idea in my head. How do we balance that out with all the creams and the fats and the sugars? And we go through and we make something, and you have to make 2.5 liters to even try. And we put it through the machine, and then we taste it as it comes out, and then we give it to a few friends and say, is this okay by you? And then we put it in the case. But now we're having a hard time choosing which 18 to narrow it down to.
There have been a lot of requests, and yes, everybody has their favorite, and so we're working through that now with the community.
Oh, you know what I love about the small businesses in Rome is that they look out for each other, and you guys have done a lot of partnerships with different businesses in town to create flavors. Isn't that right?
We have. For example, even when one of our, I guess, kind of more different flavors for gelato is the olive oil we did with Olea.
Oh yeah.
And it's funny, we do a lot of these flavors, and people think, what? And then they come and taste it, they're like, oh wow, yeah, this is really good. So we get requests for those flavors a lot, including the olive oil flavor.
They don't limit you at all as to how many samples you can have.
Well, I was going to say,
awesome. I've tritried every one of them. It's great.
If you're taking volunteers for taste testers.
Oh, we would love to have you.
I'm always I'm partial to banana. I don't know if
we've had one.
Anyway, it's not about me and what I like, Thomas. It's about business, right?
Yeah.
Well, part of this was we really wanted, and this is sincere, we really wanted to add to downtown Rome. We also like the community here, and we've grown to like it even more, or I would say love it. Mm-hmm. We really have. And just like it just amazes me how people will build you up. And I don't think that there could have been a better spot. We came here on just a leap and a prayer from Utah for my job and for his, and then just figured, well, Rome has some good health care. It's beautiful. Got a cute little downtown. Perfect. Okay. This is a great place to retire. And then we've just, even after 3 years, we've learned so much about what a wonderful community this is. It's just, it hasn't forgotten that it's small, but has a lot of those festivals and charm that we would look for in a big city as well. So we really want to build up the other small businesses, especially downtown.
Well, that's very well said. I wanted to take a show of hands, which obviously our listeners can't see. Anybody born and raised here? Born and raised in Rome? I'm the only one.
You're the only one.
Fantastic. Well, welcome to my town.
Yeah. The expats are taking over.
Bryan, one of the things I wanted to ask you guys, since Thomas touched on it earlier about, the membership drive, what attracted you to join the chamber and the benefits that it's providing to you?
We spend so much money in marketing. When they told us the price for an annual, membership, it was a no-brainer with everything that comes with it. I had actually spoke to Thomas last year, and I didn't follow through with it because I was still trying to find my way and figure out what levers to pull and where to put money. But after 12 months of spending money on marketing, $300 or however much it is, it was not much at all.
Yeah,
for everything that comes with it. So.
And has it helped you open doors? Are you starting to meet people and network things like this? Or?
Yes, sir. Actually, this morning I was on the radio show, and within 2 hours, I got a call to come to an estimate. So that worked out pretty good.
Oh, well, let's hope you have success with this as well when people start listening to the podcast. That's Blastoff Rome. And Braden, you've obviously been very active for a while here with Romega and all that. What's your, but let me go back to Bryan a minute. What's your background? Where are you from?
I'm from south of Atlanta, a small town called Fairburn, Georgia. Yeah. And my parents moved out here in 2009. My dad had Parkinson's disease, and his health was getting progressively worse. So I came in 2013 to kind of be close to him. Fell in love with Rome, met my wife, and the rest is history. My dad passed away, but I bought a house out here to be close to my mother. So I'm here. Yeah.
For those of you listening out in the internet world, this is a great place to live. It's a great place to do business. It's a great place to raise a family.
For sure.
Just listen to these stories. You've all come from somewhere else, and you're just speaking so highly of my hometown. So thank you. Braden, what's your background? Where are you from?
Well, I was here until middle school age, and then moved away. Up to Charlotte, North Carolina. I was there for maybe 10 years, and I've been back ever since. Similar story. Met my wife. She lives here, and Rome was always home for me. Even when I was up there, I would come down every summer and see old friends and hang out here. And I just enjoyed being back here. So I was very excited to have the opportunity to move back.
Well, and you've got a big entrepreneurial gene. You made fun of yourself a little bit earlier about not getting any sleep, but and obviously you've been active with the chamber, and you understand its connect. So, just from your perspective, how can the chamber help businesses in Rome?
Well, the chamber, like any other marketing endeavor that you go through, is very much you get out of it what you put into it, right?
Sure.
So it takes spending the time at the chamber building, at the events, volunteering. I've done high school leadership Rome as a mentor for several years. I've done the leadership Rome program. Any of the action councils, often they ask me to come in and like, hey, can you just tell people what's up with marketing nowadays? What's new? Yes, happy to. Just giving your time. I've spoken to Shorter's business program by invitation of the chamber. And each of those opportunities that I mentioned have opened the doors for me to create new relationships with people that I would have never crossed paths with. Heath Hooper is the dean over at Shorter Business, and he and I have become very close friends. And it's been from me just spending my time with the chamber, him also doing the same, us crossing paths there. And, we find synergy through that. And through all these programs that I've been a part of with the chamber, people sit on the fringe and they don't apply themselves to what the chamber's doing, and they wonder where their membership's going. It's going to exactly where you're putting your time, nowhere, right? You have to spend the time into it. If you want to be a passive bystander of the chamber, they're still doing great things. And that's also what I love about it. That's why I have multiple businesses that are members of the chamber. It's not because I get any more added value out of it or added benefit. I'm spending the time in there once, I'm getting the benefit out of it, but my dollars are going to work for a enterprise that is on my behalf vouching for what my business needs in the community. I don't have the time to go play politics. So I know that they are out there advocating on my behalf in the government. I'm happy to apply my dollars towards that.
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
I was just agreeing with him. That makes perfect sense.
And you're a relatively new member. So Thomas, when you hear that, I guess that's the objective, right?
Right, exactly. I mean, the chamber is in people's business. We are doing business with people and for the people as well. So we are trying to connect everybody, and we just want you to take advantage of that. And you mentioned those meetings. Yes, you put time in, and we invite you as a speaker. But those events are created actually for networking opportunities. We have some added value with the presentation. Some new trends in marketing, for instance, or last year with the PPP loans, etc. But all of these events are new opportunities to meet new people. And then we have different type of interest groups. He mentioned the councils. We have a technology square table. We have the young professionals. We have the small businesses. And in all these groups are different types of people. So, for especially the new members, my advice is just go to all of them. They're all at different times. And I know you have, hours with your business. We have some early morning events. We have some late night events. We have some, midday events. Just try them and network, exchange cards, because word of mouth, is proven is the best type of marketing and best dollar spent.
I did have a question. Where do you get your sleep, Braden?
At Swift and Finch. That's what's in my hand right now. That's what keeps me going. My wife told me the other day, you have a lot of caffeine throughout the day. Do you realize that? Well, that's how we make it work.
I think that's been a little bit of our hindrance, is just learning where to find time to come to chamber events. But
oh yeah, I mean it's a challenge, but prioritizing when you can to go, and send delegates too. I've oftentimes sent people in my company to say, hey, this would be a meaningful thing for you to go check out, because I can't always be there, but the benefit that I've gotten out of it, they can also go and network and get something out of it.
Well, I do want to circle back around here with you, Braden, because we have touched on this. Romega Digital is one of your enterprises, which is website hosting and building and all that.
That's right.
A lot of businesses in town use you guys, including Manco Logistics, which is my father's business, right here in this building. And you've got the Neely.
Yeah.
What else do you dabble in?
Everything's kind of got a Romega brand to it. So the official, the Neely happens in Romega Commons. That's the name of the building. Got Romega Digital. I have a property business as well called Romega Properties. I've got some rental properties. But the other big piece that is really my bread and butter and where I spend most of my time is Romega Software, which is software development. It kind of plays in and parlays into what digital does from the marketing footprint. I have my own team that doesn't even touch digital. I've got quite a few people that are employed under just the Romega Software brand. Haven't done a lot in Rome. There's not a lot of demand for that here in Rome, I guess, until people really feel or understand how software benefits their business. But just thinking of that big data analytics, connecting systems together and processing information, we write the software that will connect all that together. And every business is unique. Every business has their own software that they're using, their own systems that they're trying to connect. So we write it custom for every business that comes in our door.
That's what, when you hear people talking about, you need somebody to write code.
Right.
That's what you're doing.
They usually start with me, or the other phrase that I hear all the time is the $1 million idea. I got $1 million idea. I'm like, great. I hope you have $1 million budget. Let's talk.
I've had a lot of $1 million ideas that have been worth about $1.25. How did the name Neely come about for your event space? The Neely?
Yeah, the Neely is a Rome name. It's the name of the hill that the clock tower sits on. And
see, I knew that. I just threw up the softball.
Most people come through quizzing me like, how did you come up with the Neely? Oh, I knew it. I just wanted to make sure you knew it. Where do you think I just looked it up in a dictionary? But yeah, it's one of the first, I think it was the first superintendent for the Rome City school system, is Mr. Neely.
See, I did not know that.
Yeah, and so he created a school that was sitting right beside the clock tower up there. It was eventually torn down. It's just the clock tower on the hill, but it has a little bit of steeped in Georgia history, Rome, Georgia history, which I love. Romega history, sorry.
And as I recall from my history, didn't the clock tower used to be a water tower?
It did.
Yeah. Way back.
Gravity fed.
Yeah.
That's why it's on top of the Neely.
Exactly. So that water would flow down to Broad.
Yeah, and so the Neely sits at the base of the hill. We're right here, right across from the Manus Center. I walked here. It was a very nice walk.
Yeah.
Just cross the crosswalk.
Did you jaywalk?
I waited on the sign both times. I'm actually surprised I did that.
Okay. All right, let's kind of go around the room. One kind of final question here, and then we can segue that into contact information. Marketing is you've touched on this yourself, Bryan, but especially for a startup over here at Honeycream, how are you guys getting the word out? You joined the chamber. You're obviously new members in a new business, but you're doing this podcast. But are you doing any specific marketing things? What are you doing to try to get the word out? Obviously, word of mouth is great. So when people taste that gelato, they'll tell somebody.
Sure.
Social media, what are you doing?
Social media, Instagram and Facebook have been our primary marketing methods so far. And so, but again, to be quite honest, that along with kind of the, I guess, the word of mouth that has spread to, through things like articles in the V3 and the paper. And so far, it's been really great marketing for us just with the social media and the community noticing us.
And Michelle Reichert mentioning you in every conversation.
Michelle is our, one woman show as far as marketing is concerned as well. So
Michelle Reichert, of course, our friend at Hardy Realty, who does, and Hardy Realty, we thank them. They're our studio sponsor, and they sponsor every show here on Rome Business Radio. But some specifics. Give your street address again. What maybe your hours. How can people come taste some gelato?
Well, we are 4 East 3rd Avenue. And our website is honeycream.com. We just trademarked yesterday. Mm-hmm. We just got final approval or posting of our trademark. That was awesome. Several months in the making. So we're excited about that. And then our hours. So we're only open Thursday through Sunday. We are thinking about changing our hours a little bit in the fall. We've noticed some pattern changes for when people are coming through. Sunday seems to be our best day, actually, hour by hour. So we might expand those and then maybe decrease a little bit on Thursday, just till Thursday after school hours. But we're 11 to 9 on Thursday, 11 to 11 Friday and Saturday. And then Sunday right now we're 12:30 to 5:30. We work 18 hours a day. But those are our hours.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, welcome to business startups.
Yeah.
But it sounds like you're trying to find the sweet spot, if you'll forgive the pun there, of when there's the most pedestrian traffic around Broad, people coming out of church or having dinner on a Friday night, things like that.
Absolutely.
So it's a little bit of a work in progress, but you'll find it. So I guess they can go to your website.
Absolutely. Or Facebook, Instagram has all that information as well.
Okay, great. Bryan, Blastoff Rome, pressure washing and soft washing. So website, social media, how do you do your marketing?
We've tried a little bit of everything. We went as far as billboards. We got in a little trouble about the yard signs, so we had to pull back from that. Website is blastoffrome.com. And I'll be talking to Braden after this about the hosting because I'm all about local too. But when I started, I didn't have a clue about anything. I was just, every dollar that I made, I would put it back into the business until it went full time, and then just learned as I go. I've been really blessed and fortunate in, the paths that I've taken. I've had a good return in a lot of areas where I put marketing dollars, and I've taken some losses too, but it's all part of learning. So I don't feel like it's a loss really.
Sure. And how can people contact you, I guess, just through the website?
Yeah, the website, Facebook, we're on Google, and by phone. You can always, if you Google us, it's going to give you our phone number. We service the entire Rome area and pretty much all surrounding counties. So, and this is residential, commercial, both. You do it all. Yes, sir.
Okay. And I also want to mention the Christmas lights thing again, which is interesting to me. So for businesses or residential, you will hang Christmas lights.
Yes, sir. And we actually got in the paper last year. I think it was Hometown Headlines. They called and asked could they do an article on us because it was something new to Rome. and it went pretty good last year. So we're hoping this year it will be even better. We've just hired our 4th employee, and we're poised and ready to take on as much work as comes our way.
I was just going to ask, when's the best time to start on the Christmas lights or schedule?
Yeah, the earlier the better. Last year it went all the way up until the week before Christmas. I think we put our last lights up on December the 23rd.
Wow.
So it was a last minute, people last minute, they start seeing it. And
can we hire you to take down our neighbors' Christmas lights?
Sure.
I was going to say, when do you come take them down? April? Because some neighbors,
we are in that sweet spot right now. I passed a house the other day that has Christmas lights up, and I'm like, I don't know if they're getting ahead of it or if they're this late. That's just a year-round thing for them, I'm guessing.
It's not even Halloween yet. We got Halloween and Thanksgiving, but I'm if you want to hang your Christmas lights now, you'll take care of them.
And we do. We offer an early install discount, and it has a timer, so your lights don't have to be on until you're ready for them to come on. But
oh, that's great.
yes, sir.
It's just 99 days away, by the way.
Yeah, but it's great you could have them installed and just wait because that probably makes it easier for you.
It does.
Yeah, to spread out installation. Yeah.
Thomas, how did you know that?
He's big on Christmas.
I'm already counting the days when I hire Bryan. The day after Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Put that in your book.
Sounds good.
That's what everybody will want it, Thomas. And Braden, you just kind of do your own marketing, I guess, because you're in the marketing business, right?
Yeah, well, I've hired a team. I've taken the time to build the team out and just task it to them at this point, which is really nice. But yeah, it's all handled in-house.
Okay, so specifically, I know you wanted to come here to talk to Neely today.
Yeah.
But if people need website design or software, Romega Digital.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, Rome, Georgia together, RomegaDigital.com. That's the quickest way to find all our contact information.
And the Neely, if people are interested in event space, same website, or is there a separate place to go?
Yeah, so we have a couple of so the big thing that we're keeping up with right now, because it's a new brand and we're just trying to be smart about how we build it, is Instagram. So Neely is Neely. So Neely on Instagram. You can find us there, or theneely.com. It'll take you there. It'll currently forward to Instagram eventually. In the next week or so, we'll have the website up and running. The big thing we're pushing right now, similar to the Christmas lights, less lights, more Christmas. We've got the office parties booking up at the Neely. So we're partnered with the season events on that. They're going to be running catering. We'll be providing the space, just a turnkey. You got a business that you want to come, host a Christmas party and don't want to put a lot of thought into it. We can just make it happen really easy for you.
Beautiful. That sounds like a great idea. Thomas, to wrap up here, I know you always try to find a theme for us.
Right. So I was thinking a little bit ahead of this show. So and I give this show the title Experience.
Okay.
So everything is about an experience. If you guys, if you go to the gelato place to Honeycream, it's an experience. It's not just the taste of that unique ice cream and the ingredients that you use, but if you open the door, it's the whole experience. You imagine yourself being somewhere in Europe. It's the design, the interior design. It's the smell of the coffee with the imported coffee machine from Italy. So it's just an experience. And
does the hat help?
The hat helps as well, yes. Just have to work on your accent a little bit.
I haven't been there yet. I can't wait to go.
Me too.
And then, just finding out with the Christmas lights, Christmas is an experience, of course, and, the lighting, the ambiance, feeds that as well. And it's actually funny that the biggest trade show for cleaning businesses is called The Experience.
Oh.
So it's funny, and it's a whole new trend as well. So I don't know if you ventured into TikTok. I think there's a whole channel just dedicated to cleaning and how it is even mind boosting. So
absolutely,
you provide wellness, mind wellness, wellness for the mind as well.
Yes, sir.
And of course, Braden, he provides the space for the experience. Everybody is waiting to do events again, face-to-face meetings, Christmas parties, and you create the space for memories, creating memories. So it's the experience, and I already see partnerships here as well. You said you're also a real estate owner, so that has to probably be it's constant upkeep. I know. you work with a catering company, but a catering company may want to add a nice gelato
Special experience.
right? Or there are coffee breaks, if you have a convention and meetings, seminars, they want to have that experience. So we have synergies here as well, and that's what we love about this podcast.
Thomas always finds a theme for us, and I never know exactly where he's going, but he gets there. He does connect the dots. Way to go, Thomas. Thank you. Well, this has been great. Everybody, thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate your time. You've been listening to the Rome Floyd Chamber Small Business Spotlight from the Hardy Realty Studios inside the Manus Business Center, and we work in cooperation with the Rome News Tribune. Thanks again, everyone. We'll talk to you next time.